Welcome to FCC Supporters Square, for fans, by fans, and about fans. Here are your hosts, Mark Shipman and Matt Warman. Hey, remember me? I'm the guy who used to do that thing. I'm doing that thing now. I haven't done it in a while. Well, it's because, work-life balance finally balanced over to life after I've been on the other side of America, in the middle of nowhere, where it's been cold and wet and snowy, and I worked nights and worked extra hours and all that kind of fun stuff. So who am I? I'm Matt Warman. That's Mark Suppin. We do have a guest, and we are FCC Supporters Square. You probably forgot what we are as a casual banter of fans, by fans, about fans, for fans, around fans, because of fans. That's what we do. That's what we're here for. We're here to hopefully have a little bit of fun. So what did I miss in the last, I don't know, 3 weeks?
Well, Matt, I think you've missed certainly a nice off time for our club, but certainly with two wonderful wins against Red Bulls. One was, of course, in dramatic fashion with penalty kicks. We survived the Red Bulls finally. So that was nice to see. So now we're in this lull of yet another break, but we shall survive this and get back to things next weekend.
And we have guests, we have fans as guests, and we'll be talking about his fandom. Carl, introduce yourself.
Hi Matt, hi Mark. Nice to be here. My name's Carl. I've been a supporter since day one. When they first were announced, we just couldn't believe it. We just couldn't wait to get our deposits in, and just feel just really blessed that we get the opportunity, really, even to be talking about this in our own city. We don't have to travel north or anywhere else, and just really lucky.
We're glad to have you here. We're glad to have anybody here. Actually, I'm happy to even be doing this. So, given what I was doing the last few weeks, I'm happy to be anywhere. So it was really weird. I have to say, it's really weird watching a game. Fortunately, we were in an Airbnb. My wife was out for half of what I was doing, and it was a 4 o'clock. It was like a 4 o'clock kick. It just so happened that I don't have to go to work until 7 p.m. So I got to watch the game. Actually, So it was fun to actually watch an afternoon match and
really
enjoy the craziness that is playoff piece. So hate it, abhor it, or completely dread the 3-game format? Carl.
Oh, hate it. It's terrible. Terrible. I mean, we all know why they did it. Obviously, they're trying to get eyeballs on matches, but goodness, it's just it's kind of a wreck.
So would you go 2-leg, best of 5, or single elimination?
I don't mind the aggregate. I don't mind the 2-game aggregate personally. That way that Apple still gets their games on eyeballs on games, and we get a sensical, a playoff structure that makes sense.
Mark?
Yeah, if I could add on that, I completely agree. It was a terrible format. When they announced it, it just made zero sense. And the first matches out there, you saw even TQL did not sell out. And that was true. I think only maybe 1 or 2 other matches did sell. The rest of them did not. So when you have a match that doesn't matter in the playoffs, that's not a recipe for success. I mean, it's all driven by viewership and money and the rest of that, but the people didn't come as they normally would. I like the 2-game aggregate. It keeps every match and every second of every match valuable, and that's what we need to have. We don't need to find some other way to do this, and because this method just proved did not need to be set up this way.
I have an alternate let's see what you guys think about this. If we're going to keep the nine teams instead of having an 8-9 play in like they used to do in the NFL back in the day, number one seed gets a bye to the second round. You won your division. You won a supporter shield. You should get something. You shouldn't have to go on the road at all. So how about the number one seed sits at home and lets everybody else do the 2-leg or single elimination or whatever they decide. That's not 3 games.
Exactly.
Because that's the point was made is that you could win the first game, tie the second 2 games, and lose and be kicked out, and that almost happened to Houston. So,
Yeah.
Not cool. I don't like that. The better team didn't win. I don't want 3 games where the lower seeded team parks the bus, puts 5 in the back, puts all 11 back, and tries to go for PKs from moment one. Nobody wants to watch that.
Sure.
So we have that. We have news. It seems like FC Cincinnati is never without some kind of drama. We have Matt Miazga. We have Aaron Bupenza. So let's start with Miazga first. Carl, do you think it was a warranted yellow card? And do you think he'll get anything else for whatever happened after?
Well, I certainly hope he doesn't. Obviously, do I think it was a warranted yellow card? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Do I think he was just showing the love, like genuinely to his fans? No, of course not. But no, I wish he. It's a tough stat, when you see that you have a player on the team that has 11 cards and only 3 of them are in the run of play, and the rest are just him being him. That's a challenge that I wish we could taper down. But at the same time, would that mean that he would taper down his attitude on the field? I don't know. You kind of need that. You kind of need that captain back in the on the back line, calling out the orders.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Matt Miazga does not win MLS Defender of the Year unless he, went all out badass, for 90 minutes. It just makes no sense to put a love symbol up to Red Bulls fans. That garners a yellow. That's the worst. I mean, and FCC has been, unfortunately, the recipient of so much referee just debauchery and just ridiculous and all this extra news that's coming out about where he went or after the match and whatnot. I just think furthers this. It's just gotten out of hand. He should be playing in this next match. That's all I've got to say about that. But I just think the temperature of the match, you had studs up on Mascara, and that guy didn't get a red. Where does that happen?
Sure.
Only at TQL Stadium. It just up there in Red Bulls. I'm sorry, but it's very frustrating. And then Arias, that was
through the air.
That should be a quick red, easy red. Not even, you don't need to look at it. Red. That's it just further. I mean, there's been some, chronological just ridiculousness by pro referees, but this, really just ranks right up there. Guido's laughing somewhere because of that.
I wish you had a strong opinion, Mark, because that was
It's been a few weeks.
Gotta be smart. That wasn't even Matt Miazga's first yellow during PKs. He got a PK, a yellow at a friendly at the U.S. men's team. It's like, look, you scored your PK, be exuberant, do whatever it is, and then run back to that. These refs are bad. And that's not a yellow that you don't need to show the heart sign to this. I understand whether he's trolling or not is definitely up for debate. I could see it either way with him. But you could show the love. You could have done that after the match.
Yeah.
He could have easily done that after the PKs are over. Then he doesn't get a yellow card, right? Because we need him. Because our upgate, the union is going to be interesting. They're going to be missing Kai Wagner. So is our defense basically, I guess, is our offense better than Philadelphia's offense, Carl?
If we can get Bupenza on to what he's paid to do, absolutely. You know, Aaron is he's got some challenges right now. He's still working through some things apparently, and yeah, I want to say yes. I'm optimistic. I think we're favored, so absolutely.
I think that Boop, you know, we all love watching our players, our favorite players, and like Miazga. You know, I'm not saying that it's a mental health issue with Miazga, but it could be a mental health issue with Papenzi. You never know what's going on with a player, and if that's something that he needs, I mean, it could be anything from he's a party boy to he's got family issues, because every time he goes over there, he seems to be late. So something's going on when he goes over there. He's not typically late for practices here. So, you know, as long as he gets here on time and mixes in with the group, I don't care. Mark?
Yeah, yeah, certainly I'm not gonna, make any assumptions as to what's happened. Certainly I don't want to make any, fun light of it. I could throw, hey, probably needs to get Flavor Flav's clock going, so he knows what time it is.
I personally want to see that.
But I'm just going to leave that alone and say, hey, if he does have some issues to work out, certainly, our club has done well with the players that are coming over here. Take a Barreal for one. That was hard for him to get started here in Cincinnati when he came from Buenos Aires. But I think he's fit in well and is doing and it's shown, with his play. Bupenza can be that same player, I believe. Just hopefully the club can, come around and put an arm on him and get him a little bit further integrated into our system and get him comfortable. That's what I think it's going to take.
I think it's going to be a very interesting game. I am a little bit nervous about it. Quite honestly, this is my hot take, and I don't have my talking tactics are chant, have a beverage, chant. My expected goals are score more than the other team, chant, win the game. Those are my expected goals.
That's what it's going to take.
And I think it's going to be a very nervous, but I think after this, there's no other team past Philadelphia that scares me. Carl, is there any team that scares you in the rest of this playoff run?
Absolutely not.
Mark?
Yeah, for me, I'm just going to, my take is this better be Brandon Vasquez's, he's got to show up for this. And I'm not saying he hasn't shown up this year. Certainly the goal production is down, but I think this is his turn to shine. And I want him to do that. And I think if he can, put it together in this playoff run, we're going to get all the way to the cup. I'm thinking a 2-1 victory. And I'm just hoping, that the offense can just roll. And I just want opportunities. I want, guys, going after the ball. I want the midfield to be locked down because, our defensive line, God love them. There needs some help. But I think if we solidify the midfield and get the front line with some good play in the final third, I think we have a great opportunity to make a huge run.
I am ever the meteorologist, and I keep a no pun intended, a weather eye on things, and it looks like we may get some snow on Friday. So that's going to change the outlook on this. It's going to change the outlook on what I wear. Obviously, Are you going to be wearing shorts next Saturday?
Not this time. Not myself.
Mark?
You know what that answer is, my man. What did I wear the very first match? Let me know this.
Yes, you wear shorts. You wore some some leggings or something to
I
warm you up
wore
a little bit.
Hawaiian shirt, shorts, and flip flops. First match.
There you
And
go.
that was to shut up the people that were all somehow complaining on Facebook that the pictures that they showed to show up at the first match, they were wearing t-shirts. How could this be? It's going to be so cold. I'm like, no, I took care of that. I said, I will be in my Hawaiian shirt and flip-flops, and I delivered that. May or may not do that this one, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Depends on how much snow, if any, we get.
Yeah.
Well, this is the part of the show because we've got other things, and we'll get to playoffs later on. But we have a guest, and we love our guests. So, and Carl will be no exception. So, Carl, you said you were a day one ticket holder. Um, so why did you day one ticket hold? How did you get involved in this? What SGs do you belong to? Give us the summary of your FCC fandom.
Let's see. Belong to Dienerstadt since day one. Also, when we, when FC Cincinnati was announced, right? Let's see, it was 2015, and we were Columbus Crew supporters at the time, and they of course were going through their 2015 run, and I believe they made it to MLS Cup that year, and so we were, we've been driving up to Columbus regularly for matches, and so when of course FC Cincinnati was announced, we just were ecstatic, and I couldn't believe that this was happening in our own city, and they had the renderings, right? If you remember the renderings, where they I don't know, projected 5,000, 10,000 people, and they had the big tarps and all, and really to show up out there at Nippert and just watch that stadium fill up. That was amazing. Yeah.
I remember this. I'm a day one ticket holder as well. I My wife and I thought, oh, we're just gonna spread out and watch the game. It's gonna be kind of our private little thing, kind of like the Cyclones, a couple thousand fans, and we kind of like, oh, what are you guys doing Saturday? Oh, we're gonna go to the soccer match. Like, no, 10,000 day one, at
Right.
29 degrees, and it was a very exciting match, and it only grew from there. And that's interesting. So why DI?
YDI, that was the first one that I found, honestly, and I wasn't sure if there were others, and so I went ahead and joined, and have enjoyed it since. Participated in some of the TIFO paintings way back then, and everywhere is just great, right? All of the supporters groups are great. You met a lot of different supporters groups at the TIFO paintings,
Yeah.
and the folks there, but yeah.
I'm sure you've seen these two knuckleheads there from time to time. I've missed the last couple because of work, but I've been to most of them. So
I've only been to a handful.
it's always a lot of fun. TIFOs are a lot of fun. A note before we continue. Apparently FCC on the next Saturday's game, they're get the FCC app. It's going to be colorized. I guess we're doing colors. I don't know, sparkles or whatever. So I'm just throwing that out for our listeners. Hey, download the FCC app if you haven't already. I think most of us have it, but do it so we can look colorful, I guess. So I see that you have, I don't know, one, maybe two scarves behind you. Oh wait, you've got a lot of scarves behind you.
Love the scarves.
So
yeah.
So what's your top three favorite scarves? I can't say number one.
You say that one more time. What about the number one?
Top three favorite scarves.
Top three, I do like my This Is Fine scarf that they put out in Dayton. That's one of my top three. Yes, I know. Thank you again so much. That might be my top, and then the others really just my first DI scarf. I still wear that to every game, and my first FC Cincinnati scarf, which is at my office. It's not back here.
Excellent.
Fantastic. Yes, I figured you looked like you were a scarf head. So Scar season is coming out, and I know I'm not giving any secrets away, but the brigade's going to have a nice scarf this year. I think
Yep.
we have some plans.
We got
So
some things going on.
we got some things going on. So are you still active with DI or
Active as in a member, yes. Do I participate in their elections and or rather in the back office pieces? No, I do not, unfortunately.
I know where you sit. You sit very close to me.
That's right.
You know that we're beginning to chant over there. I'm
Ah.
thinking we should have our own supporter group with a couple others, and we should call ourselves the Midfield Maniacs. How does
Oh
that sound?
no.
I'm in. I'm in.
There you go, the Midfield Maniacs. Doesn't mean we'll be a subgroup of the brigade, I guess, or DI. I will never go completely away from you guys, brigaders. But midfield name, we are actually beginning to chant, and I think I've heard you a little bit over there as well. Getting into it.
Absolutely, we're trying to get everybody to scream as loud as they can whenever they hear the Bailey rocket.
Very
So,
good.
so did you ever sit in the Bailey when you were over at Nippert, or were you a midfield person back then as well?
Our season tickets have always been in the midfield, but our kids, we've got 4 kids, and so our kids enjoy going to the games as well. And part of that is to participate in the march, and part of that is to, of course, join in the Bailey. And so we have attended several matches in the Bailey, both at Nippert and at TQL.
That's always fun. So, and
Absolutely.
one thing I have noticed, because I was at the last playoff, it was a Sunday night. That's why it wasn't full. It was Sunday at 8 o'clock. I mean, you're gonna lose some people for work and school and whatnot. But I noticed that when we scored our goals, it's all to you guys in the Bailey. You Bailey heads, I love you guys. The goal dance is one of my favorite things. They're now showing it in Europe, and Europe is going, this is American soccer. They're losing their minds over what we're doing.
Yeah.
I love that we've done our own culture, but the thing is, when that goal dance, now it's going everywhere. At
Yeah.
some point, maybe this year, maybe next year, at some point, I feel like a lot of the stadium, if not all of the stadium, will be doing that goal dance.
That's the goal.
That's my hope, because all the
It
kids
is.
get up and do it, and pretty soon, the teenagers are going to do it. Then the adults will have to do it, and then it's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
So,
What a treat to see, at least from the Bailey perspective, how the rest of TQL Stadium is participating in that. So we can say it's a Bailey thing, but I clearly, 2/3 through the season, it became a whole lot more than that. And what a beautiful sight to see, all the way up in the top row of TQL Stadium, and they are throwing it up. I mean, it is a beautiful thing to see. So kudos to everyone, Bailey and beyond, that are celebrating all the goals that we score. Simple as that. It's just neat to see not only other over in Europe they're doing it, and I'm even seeing this in college crowds. They're getting with it just the same. So it's catching on like crazy.
we're the thing. Who knew? Who knew we were going
Yeah.
to be the thing? I mean, 2015, we just dreamed of. I remember one day going, "Wow, we might one day get a friendly with somebody." And we did get Crystal Palace, and it was like, "This is amazing." And it's like then MLS showed up, and it's like, "Oh, this is what soccer looks like."
Yeah.
The days of Jimmy wide open, 30 yards wide open on the wing are gone, but have been replaced with the Barriel bangers. So
Yes.
I'm very happy about that. So do you miss the USL, or are you an MLS guy? It sounds like because you were watching the Crew, you're probably happy that we're in the MLS.
I am happy we're in MLS. When we were in USL, I did still watch both sets of games, and so when we switched over and coach was like, everybody's got to pick, and you better pick the right one. Absolutely, all of my Columbus stuff got boxed up and put away, and here we are. Absolutely, I'm glad we're in MLS for sure.
Do you miss the Crew?
I mean, I miss I miss playing them. I like playing them. That's when I like to see them. I like to see them either at TQL or at whatever postage stamp stadium they have.
Oh, that is a square box stadium.
Oh.
That is the most generic square box stadium I think I've ever seen. And that they're excited about it is I don't understand it.
Yeah.
Did you see that like 15 of them marched in front of their team bus?
No.
And they called that a march. Remember that they never marched. They always, as you would know, they tailgated. And then suddenly we showed up the first year with 1,500, 2,000 strong in that march. And they went, oh, we want to do that. So now they're marching and now they act like they started it or something. It's
I'll be on the lookout for that. Maybe we'll have another Hell is Real.
Oh,
I think that might be for the MLS Cup. That would be kind of nuts.
That's
That
what I'm
would
saying.
be Hell is Real is a nutty thing and during the season. In a way, it gets really nutty. I went to the away match. That was pretty nutty. But Hell is Real is for not just a playoff, but conference championship. Oh, somebody's going to be sad and somebody's going to be dancing because that's going to be held over
Absolutely.
somebody's head if
Yep.
that occurs, and it
For
could.
sure.
But I think we could beat. I think we could beat the Crew. I think we can beat Orlando. We just got to get
Every day.
past
yes.
Philadelphia.
Yep. First things first.
So what trophy have we? I mean, what award have we not won? I think all we didn't win was goalkeeper, but we did have save of the year. We had goal of the year, got defender of the year. We should have MVP. I don't think that one. They're holding on to that one for a little bit, but you got to be crazy if it's not Lucho.
Right.
Without a doubt. I mean, he's only proven it. So, go ahead and take a bow. They'll probably wait until somewhere near the MLS Cup final to give it to him, but I think he can wait. I think there's more hardware to win.
I would love to see a cup in one hand and the MVP award in the other hand. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, not to forget it, but the Puskas Award still
yes.
to be given, hopefully to our main man, our Alvaro Barreal.
I still
What a
love
banger.
that goal. I still
What a
love
banger.
that goal.
Yes.
I was in the Bailey for that one, and I appreciated that immensely.
For sure.
Well, any final words, Carl?
Not really. I appreciate you guys having me on, Matt and Mark. That's a good time.
See, I told you we wouldn't bite too much. He was a little nervous because he was afraid he didn't have enough in the mix. Of course, he has enough in the mix. Look at him; he's fine. He's a day one supporter.
Yep.
Of course, he's got things. He's got stories to tell.
Let him
how
be
you
heard.
know? You get a beer with him, and then you find out things. That's what you need to do. So if you're in First Financial and you see this man, get him a beer. He'll open up. He'll start talking to you. I have one last bit of business for us brigaders. It's a sad day. I think is that what's behind us. Mark is his final word is that our home is going away. It's been a bit of a downhill. We've known that, but it's official. I don't even know if we're going to be there Saturday. I think we're going somewhere else. I think it is closed on Saturday, the 25th.
Yeah.
So it's an end of an era. We've got to find a new home, and hopefully the fifth line will let us hang out with the holiday. And we've got some other bars around OTR have been reaching out to us, so that's very nice. But if anybody has any suggestions or what's
or an open door,
the homeless Irish are ready to party somewhere.
Must have Jameson. That's the only requirement. I mean, honestly, yeah.
So there's that. I will give you the last word, Mark.
All right,
take us home.
Well, 3 years at Nellie's Pub has been nothing short of just great to see the brigade folks, see other folks, and just pre-match the right way. I'll just say that. What brigade, what we don't have in numbers, we have in passion, and getting the crowd going with the chant.
Boy,
Buying around to Jameson for the folks. Just having a blast, talking about everything, seeing the lineup when it comes out, just talking it all up and just getting ready for 3 points. That's what it's been about. It's going to be hard missing a place, like that. But we shall persevere. We shall move on. But it's going to be hard, to leave a place, that's been so good to us.
you don't have to worry about that UDI, guys. You guys have like 8 million people in your crew, so that's okay. But we're okay. We're the Irish always, everybody's like, what about those guys? Well, they'll figure that out. We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it, people. We will be around. You will see us. We do march.
Yes, we do.
So hey, Carl, thank you for joining us. It's been a pleasure to see your scarf collection and to hang with you for a little bit. It's great to be back after a bit of a hiatus. Obviously, next week we record on Thursdays for people who are on the audio. We're not going to record next Thursday. I don't think anybody wants to hear us after Thanksgiving. I mean, I'm big enough as it is. I don't want to see you don't want to see me after Thanksgiving. That's just too much. Give me a couple of days to work some things off. You know what I'm saying? But we'll be back in 2 weeks, hopefully talking about the Cup final or the conference final, and we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. For Mark Suppin and Carl, I'm Matt Warman. See you next time on FCC Supporter Square.